All right, I think we are live. All right, hello everyone. We're gonna be playing some D&D tonight. I hope you're ready. We're gonna be going into the Savage Frontier of the Whitmor region to investigate meteor activity. If this is your first time watching, you can head on over to mightybeard.com. It has session recaps for everything we've done so far, as well as world lore, that sort of thing. I'm working on a new site that actually organizes it a little bit better, and hopefully it'll be up soon, but we'll see. All right, so today we have a bit of a mix of party. We're going to be meeting up with the party out of Whitmor, at least partially. We're going to be meeting with Vels and Calgrim, but we also have Norbin, who has been over in Hovestad for the last few months or so, doing some assignments over there, and also a new member of the Adventurers Guild, at least new as in finally ready to go out on bigger assignments, and so we'll meet all of them soon. But yeah, basically where we left off in general, at least with Calgrim and Vels, you guys had recently delivered the new mayor of Crystal Head from Hovestad to Whitmor, and there was a few days of downtime. I would say probably about 10 days of downtime for you guys. So you, Bells and Wisp, went off to Pumpkintown for the annual Pumpkintown Festival to celebrate the harvest, and that night, I don't remember if Vels you saw it, but there was sightings of meteors that had flown through the sky, shooting stars basically. And the last time that something came that close, it happened over in Jagged Grove, over on the eastern side of the map, over in the eastern area. And it partially destroyed some fields, but the bigger piece of it was that the meteor was actually either some kind of transportation device, a flying ship of sorts, or it's the chemical reaction of it hitting the earth. Something caused these crazy looking creatures, kind of animalistic, but at the same time, like, just very alien. Just legs going in wrong direction, like knees going in the wrong directions. Yeah, it was just bad, and quite a few citizens of Jagged Grove died. The Adventurers Guild were like the party that went out there. They were able to resolve the situation, met some interesting allies that came from somewhere. I forget what those called, but those hippo guys, like hippos, griffs, gifts, something. I don't know. But yeah, what the Senate Hall and well, everyone really is interested in is just making sure that this, if the meteor has hit the ground, that they won't have a similar situation arise. So that is the mission: is to head out, investigate the area which it seemed like the shooting star was going in, and hopefully it's just a rock in the ground. But if there's more there, to take it out and report back, hopefully stop any badness from happening before it's too late. So with us tonight, start with the Gamer Hobbit. Say hello.
Hello, hello. I'm playing as Calgrim, a hill dwarf who is seeking a life beyond the halls of stone and wanting to uncover the mysteries of the giants to perhaps learn their knowledge and pass it down to my kin.
And we also have Indotorius.
Hello, I am Notorious, and I will be playing Velskel, a gem dragonborn from the northern peaks of the continent. He had a rough child life and basically got wrapped up in a lot of dark business, and now he's trying to remedy his actions and help to bring those who fled from the north into union with the people of the continent.
And we also have Ursats. Say hello.
Hello. Yeah. We're playing Norbin, the jaunty half-elven ranger. He just very much likes exploring and finding new things, and this is a big, mysterious continent full of wonderful new ruins and adventures to be had, so he's here. This is the place he wants to be and the things he wants to be doing.
And last but not least, our new member of the team, Plasma Hero. Say hello.
Hello, I'm going to be playing Zillus, I'm a Triton who's tired of using his skills for entertainment and wants to be a bit more helpful with the guilds.
Good. So, all right, where we will start off is your assignment is to meet in Whitmor. There is a gentleman that has made the journey out there to discuss some things that he is aware of. That man is named Luftcrofter, and he's known by a few different names: Luftcrofter, Sage of the Stars, as well as the Seer. And the Adventurers Guild, generally speaking, you would have heard the name before only because he was involved in the initial meteor strike. He had a vision that that kind of foreshadowed everything that took place. So saw in his dreams this vision, the meteor hitting, and a small town being attacked, and aware of who were part of the party that was going to head out there, and who they would meet, and the trouble that they would find. There were some context clues there as well, only because it had been a few days since Jagged Grove had sent any word to the nearby town, which is King's Den, which happened to be where Luftcrofter was from. So, but based on just the setting of his vision, he was pretty confident it was Jagged Grove that was being attacked, and seemed to be the case. So he's almost like a fortune teller of sorts. He's able to see things. His visions aren't very aren't 100% accurate. A bit vague. Again, it mostly dreamlike, so it's hard to tell what's the dream, what's the vision, what's real and what's not real. But for the most part, it's mostly accurate. And I would say, just being a sage in general, part of the Mages Guild, part of the Records Guild as well, in some sense. As far as again, he initially was the Sage of the Stars, and his duty was to track the movement of the stars and kind of map things out, help figure out placement and all that sort of thing. So I think, Vals, you would be familiar with the name. I don't know if you'd run into him or have any reason to make contact with him, but I think you'd at least be familiar with the name.
Okay.
But okay, you guys meet up in the Adventurers Guild, and the think at least, well, I probably all of you had stayed the night, and then walked downstairs to get your assignment, and were sent into a small meeting room. And as you guys walk in, there is an older gentleman, human, darker skinned, almost like a leathery skin, slicked back, snowy white hair. Seems kind of toned overall, like he's not old as in like fragile, but he seems to keep himself pretty healthy, but yeah, as soon as you guys walk in, he's kind of sitting on the other side of the table, so he sees you as you walk in. You guys see him. Hello. You are the adventurers that are heading out?
Yes, sir, we are. Who are you?
Oh, apologies. Lovecraft, and as he says that, he's standing up and he reaches his hand out to shake hands.
Vel shakes his hands. Ah, I've heard much about you.
My name gets around, I hear.
You may call me Vels.
Vels. It's a pleasure to meet you. And since this is a new grouping, just brief descriptions of what you guys look like, that sort of thing. I know this is the first time probably Norbin has been meeting the team out of Whitmor, and everyone meeting Phyllis for the first time as well. But he turns over to you, Zillis. Pleasure to meet you, Brighton. Yes?
Correct. Yes.
I have seen many of you in the Adventurers Guild. Well, at least these parts on land. I know you take care of the seas.
Yeah, typically we stick to the seas. I'd like to explore a bit though, so I like the land.
Well, hopefully this is not a bad introduction for you. And as he begins to turn to the next person, just briefly describe what you look like for the rest of the party.
So Zillis has sort of sea green skin with dark, messy forest green hair and bright cyan eyes. He's a bit shorter, but holds himself pretty well. And yeah.
And Vel's the same. Just a brief description of what you look like.
All right, so
Carrying that sort
Vels
of thing.
is, yeah, Vels is a white scale dragonborn. It's not like super tall, it's a bit shorter for dragonborn. And one thing he does a lot is he'll lean on his staff, which is like also very, it's like white, but then at the very tip there's a black crystal in the middle of it. Yeah.
He reaches a hand out to you, Kelgrim.
Ah, pleasure to meet you. Bring my hand out firmly and shake his hand. What brings you
Yeah,
to these parts of Whitmore?
well, first of all, he takes it, but like as you start to pull away, he kind of holds on, and he kind of tilts his head and just kind of looks at your armor and your like the weapon at your side. Oh, I had vision. I have some information that might be helpful to you on your journey today. Don't
That's some information.
I don't travel much, at least not out here, but suppose any time is a good time to get out of King's Den. Yes, you those giant runes. Again, he's just kind of like looking over your armor and your weapon.
Oh, yes, these. Yes, been trying to learn about them, but haven't had much luck in these recent times, but the giant's probably a bit scarce and few and far between, hidden deep within the regions of this continent.
Yes, as far as I'm aware, there has been no sightings in the 20 odd years we've been here. I recognize those symbols. I might have a contact for you, but we'll worry about that another time. And at that point, he reaches out to you, Norbin.
Hello. So yeah, Norbin, half elf, wearing well maintained but very worn in gear, heavily tanned, has the look of an outdoorsman, someone who spends most of his time in the sun and wind and rain, carrying a assortment of weapons and equipment on his person, maybe more so than the average person. You can see ropes and climbing kits and all manner of odds and ends stashed away in his bags and whatnot. But yeah, he'll reach out and it's like, all right, so we're chasing a big rock down. Fell out of the sky?
Well, so yeah, yes, the shooting stars that you might see at night, commonplace most nights. At least a few times a week you might see them off into the distance, but every so often they do enter into the atmosphere and hit. They fall and they land, but been no more than 5-10 days since the last time that occurred. Seems to be a bit more frequent than we're used to. The last time that they hit in Jagged Grove, there was well, a bit of a alien experience, creatures that had not been seen before, and I don't know if it's just something I've earned in my age, but I have the ability to see things, sometimes far into the future, sometimes very quickly in front of you. But I did have a vision of this, just like I had a vision in Jagged Grove. Vision saw meteors flying north of Pumpkintown. That has been confirmed by the reports out of the hamlet. Vision saw it fall into a gap in the mountains. Earth is hot there, but so you can still see the snow through off in the horizon towards the north. I saw a creature unlike anything that has been seen, big almost as there's no skin, so red of muscle and veins out for the world to see. Teeth sharp like bears. Again, much larger. The party that went to Jagged Grove, they saw something similar, but that one was weak. It had been hurt. It was young. This one seems much more physical. Creature basically defending the impact area. The others that spawned from it scattered off into the woods. Spoke with the captain this morning. He showed me this map. And I'm gonna point you guys to a location. Right here off into the mountains. I don't know if this is exactly where it would be, but sort of matches. General thought, a gap. Probably see the snow from there. There's quite a few hills. We'll be traveling through the pine forests. I don't know how much you've heard about my visions, but I cannot give you full specifics on what to expect. I can only tell you what I've seen. I would venture into the mountains, see what you can find.
So if we do happen to find this large, dangerous sounding creature that you've seen, what are we supposed to do with it?
Well, I'd imagine you need to take it out. Doesn't belong here.
All right then. Well, it sounds like we're going hunting.
My visions suggested it was fierce, beast-like. If the rest that were spawned ventured out into the woods, likely at some point he will do the same. Adventurers like yourselves could confront such a beast, but fortunately, most of these small hamlets cannot, especially a place like Hillview Stop. Copper Crossing. I will say one more thing from my vision. Friendly types that you met along your journey, they were searching for something. Crossed paths, but you did not venture off together. Maybe like hunters or something. Maybe related, maybe not. That is really all I have.
I think that's all we need.
But at this point, he's still standing, but he kind of looks around the room briefly and back at you. Well, I know it's at least about where that is. Probably a day and a half journey. I reckon you will be able to make a stop at Copper Crossing. Go from there. Wish you good luck. And know your organization you report back, but if possible, you could bring me a piece of the fallen rock. I'd like to study it.
Shouldn't be too hard. Sure.
With that, you guys are free to head out. As you make your way out, the secretary stops you, lets you know that there are rooms available in Copper Crossing for you guys to stop. There isn't much shopping to be able to be done in Copper Crossing, but so if there's anything you think you need based on the information you got from Luft, to pick it up in Whitmor. But again, it's like 8 o'clock. By the time you guys reach Whitmor, it'll be probably about 3 o'clock. You have an opportunity to rest, eat, talk over dinner, or you can strategize as you talk along the way. And then it's another half day's journey from Copper Crossing to this place. At least this area. So based on that information, is there anything you would want to pick up? Or supplies?
I don't think he mentioned like the rocks that we would need would be loose. So we're probably gonna need like some kind of pickaxe or something to help break apart the meteor. Kalgrim, what's your take on that? What do you think we're gonna need to get a rock from space?
Depends on how hard this meteorite rock is. We might need a decent pick for it. Does anyone know if Copper Crossing does any decent picks, or if we have to get one at Whitmor?
Norvin will reach into his bag, and he will pull out a pickaxe, a shovel, a crowbar, and a hammer, set them down, and go, "Think these will work?"
Oh, that's perfect. Seems like we got the stuff we need there.
Yes.
I think we should be good then for the job. Have any of you encountered these meteorites before?
Can't say that I have.
Nope.
Bells is kind of like lost thought, like not directly, but well, there's no way to know if that was meteorite or what else. So most likely not.
Well, first time for all of us then. You guys need any additional supplies before we head out? Food, water, or...
Oh, I'm all set and ready to go.
I believe I'm all set as well.
The other thing that you guys would get on your way out is a potion of healing. If you would want to take one, I've given it to the two that didn't have one. So Calgrim, you've got it. Zillis, you have a potion of healing as well. Norbin and Vels, in your sheet, you already had one. Would you take another?
Norbin will make sure he has one.
Yeah, they'll. Yeah, I think Vels will just keep the one.
Okay.
Should be.
Cool. Yeah, and as far as like regular supplies, like rations, that sort of thing, just kind of assumed that you pick that up. But okay. So, as you travel, what is there any conversation about the mission, or maybe not about the mission, like as far as like who each other are, what's the conversation like for the half day between Whitmor and Copper Crossing?
Calgrim, have you and Vels like run into each other since the Pumpkintown festival?
No, I don't believe so. In fact, mostly just stage around Whitmor for a bit.
All right.
What were you doing?
On the way
what were
over.
you doing during that time? Sorry, just to interject. What were you doing at the time? Like, we'll say you had probably about 10 days downtime. They headed back to Pumpkintown maybe a day or two after you guys rested.
Mostly just rested up, looked around, tried to just gather any like newsy information about the areas. Any like rumors and stuff like that. Trying to like get some more info about giants and stuff, but they probably went cold. So yeah, mostly just rested up.
Yeah, you wouldn't get much information out of Whitmor as far as lore about giants outside of like the normal stories. Fairy tales mostly is like the general vibe of it. You definitely would think that in Hovestad is now that more people are entering in, Easton for sure, as far as like a city-based thing, but the most contact that you had with those kind of artifacts and symbolism was out in the mountains of It doesn't seem like that has traveled very far. However, Luftcrofter did suggest you guys should talk again. And there was the smithy out of Golden Grove. Fine arts crafter, the master craftsman that you spoke with at, I think it was Pumpkintown? Maybe it was Hillview Stop, I can't recall now. He seemed to be somewhat knowledgeable of things, maybe where to look. But yeah, and Whitmor, not so. But okay, Bells, you were asking a question.
Yes, I just wanted to see. So, going over. Oh, Kelgrim, I pull out the At the Pumpkintown notes. It's a wand that can cast Prestidigitation. Can use it 8 times. And it's quite a nifty little spell. I'll just put it there so you can see that.
I like have a look at it, trying to
Yeah.
understand it. Interesting. So, what does this spell do exactly?
Generally, it's like normally used as a type of party trick. You can create harmless sensory effects. You can light a candle with it. If you get super dirty, you can just use it and clean yourself in an instant. You can also use it to make your normal drinking water taste like the richest beer you have ever had.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Very interesting. Kind of like goes into his own thoughts then of what he could do with that spell if he ever learnt it. Where did you come by this spell?
It was a prize for one of the games for the Pumpkintown Festival.
Ah,
Yeah, we had quite a lot of fun. 2 other adventures appeared there. Just kind of that teleportation circle that we thought was completely inactive. Apparently, it just activated randomly, and 2 adventures from the south showed up.
that's strange.
Yeah, and then afterwards it activated again, and they left. And
I'm just very curious then, yeah. How was the festival then?
it was so much fun. We had a bunch of fun games. There were some wrestling against goblins, guessing number of feathers on an owlbear, outstaring an orc, and we also had a tent, some performance, and one of the Shinichi from Sudan. I don't know how, but he is possibly the most talented bard in the entire continent. His performances were just on point every time. I don't know how he does it. Yeah, if you ever bump into thing, man, we'll have to. Oh,
I'll definitely
hopefully
be
we
sure
bump
to...
into him again.
I'll be sure to check him out someday.
So, have any of you dealt with a giant predator-like creature that's fallen out of the sky, or is this a first for everybody?
And first time for me.
First time for a giant predator that's fallen out of the sky.
Yeah, I can kind of relate to that one.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe less on the giant half, but you know.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll find out more if we find this thing.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, real quick interjection. There was a bit of a lore change that has occurred since the last time we were all together, and we added a new sect of the Adventurers Guild. So the Adventurers Guild is primarily divided into five regions, sort of. So you've got a captain out in Nordland and Easton and Sedund and Whitmor, as well as Hovestad. The Hovestad is covering basically things in Hovestad and within a day's journey of Hovestad. But then everything else is kept by the regions. But one thing we hadn't really pushed was what's happening out in the seas. So we've brought in a new, or at least acknowledged a new region of the Adventurers Guild, and that is the Golden Seas sect. And their job is to basically protect and monitor the waters, go out and investigate anything that's just, weird, but also, stop, pirate style crime or rescue ships that have crashed into low, rocks and that sort of thing. But Zillus is a Triton, and it's probably the first time that maybe any of you have seen a Triton on land. You'd definitely be aware based on the based on your experience with the Adventurers Guild, knowing that there are some Triton that man the Golden Seas area. But I think, yeah, definitely this is the first time you've seen, you've probably seen it, or at least worked alongside of a Triton on land for one of these assignments. So is there any curiosity or icebreakers to converse with this guy? Or I would say, like, based on these conversations, he's just kind of been off to the side. And actually, I'll take a step back. I would think out of anyone here, Vels, you would be probably the most familiar with Tritons. You were kind of always aware that there are some, I don't know if you want to call them camps or tribes of Triton, but definitely out in the waters, but also out in the north where you came from. You're always aware that they were about. I don't know how much contact you had with them, especially or specifically, but I definitely think you would be the most aware, at least familiar.
So Zillus, was it?
Yes, that's me.
I haven't seen your folk much. I remember years ago there were some tribes near where I lived. I never really conversed with them, but where were you from?
My tribe is Savulath. We're a bit more north of the continent, but it's a bit cooler up there, but nothing I'm not used to.
Yeah, I understand. Well, now I belong to House Dusk, my home tribe. We lived up in the Northern Islands. It's very, much colder out there than it is here.
Yes. It's at points it's gotten uncomfortable, but I'm growing rather used to the heat.
Yeah, it took me a bit as well. But
So the overall journey, just kind of passes by. There really isn't much going on. There is some cross traffic, so some people heading from Copper Crossing, or at least that region, to Whitmor. As you traveled up the road to the road that crosses into Copper Crossing, definitely some traffic that's heading into Whitmor from the east. But really nothing super noticeable as you get to Copper Crossing. Not noticeable, but alarming, I guess. Just all kind of normal. But you guys would get to Copper Crossing. Copper Crossing is a pretty small hamlet, if it could even be called that. Maybe 25 to 30 people. Vels, you would maybe see at least a few familiar faces because you've been here before. But definitely familiar faces with also your experience in Pumpkintown with the festival. So you see the strongman bugbear kind of lugging some logs around. You see the family of the trio goblins that had done the acrobatics act, which is the people you helped. Again, your second mission that we did together. And but yeah, it's a logging town. Really not much going for it other than that. You've got some small farms, but again, probably about 30 people. Mostly goblin. You've got some orc. You've got some bugbears, hobgoblins. But yeah, it seems like the dominant race here is goblins. But you guys make it to the town. You make it to the small inn that they've got, like an inn and tavern. You're able to get a room for the night. Before we fast forward into the next day when we're actually gonna fully start today's adventure, anything else that you guys would want to cover amongst yourselves or do while you're here?
believe we should plan out where we're going to be headed tomorrow. Plan out a route so we have some idea of where we're going. Considering going to the mountains, we should make sure we're not going to get into the wrong valley.
Yeah.
Vals, you would, and Calgrim as well. You would be aware that, like, if you follow the stream, there's like an obvious path of other people who have walked that. But otherwise, it's pretty bare. Again, this is kind of like the Savage Frontier area where not a lot of activity. Not a lot of people walking in the woods outside of like hunters. So yeah, you would be you know, you've got like a compass or something that can kind of lead you in the right direction. I would think that, you know, it would make sense for you all to have kind of like a general map of the continent with you. So you have some like some kind of idea of where it is, what direction you need to head.
Based on that, would Norman be able to navigate us into the relatively correct spot, given that, you know, navigating is kind of his thing?
Yeah, remind me, navigator's tools,
Cartographer's tools, I believe.
photography. Yes, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are
I
the ones.
think, yeah, that would definitely assist. I think you would have been able to study those maps, maybe help build some of those maps. So, yeah, I think you would definitely have
Yeah,
probably be.
he's a ranger.
one
We're
of
going
the-
into the wilderness. It feels like it should
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. So yes, you definitely have a good base to help navigate the party.
Cool.
Anything else you
Hmm.
guys would want to take care of or cover?
I don't believe so.
No.
Okay. Well, let's do this then. Everybody roll me a d6. So Plasma, this is your first time. This is kind of a gauge how the day's gonna go. It's not sort of. It's like a fate die almost. Basically, it's is someone looking out for you, and we're looking for two numbers, and the numbers we're looking for are 1s and 6s. 6s mean that someone generally good aligned is looking out for you, so you might get you might find a hidden cache of health potions at the right time, or you might maybe you find some additional information that you would normally roll for, but without the roll. 1s would be like worst case scenario happens. So today we've got 1, 4, 6, and 4. So the numbers 1s and 6s will counteract one another. They'll counter each other. So, but we do have a 1 and we do have a 6, which means we'll be depending on the 4s to suggest it'll be a normal day. While we're in Copper Crossing, can I get a perception check from everybody? And I think this would be basically as you're sitting down for dinner, and again having this conversation of, you know, who would be best suited to kind of lead, as well as you know what else to kind of prepare for. But I know Calgrim is very good at putting his ear to the table to listen to other conversations that are going on. So we got a crit 25, an 11, an 18, and a 14. So group check wise, this will give you this information. You guys would hear a few different rumors going around. So obviously the meteors, the shooting stars, you know, at least a weekly occurrence. But yeah, there is a rumor that one looked like it probably landed about northwest of you guys, off into the mountains. It seemed to be heading in that direction, a bit lower to the ground. So there is a general worry that's being discussed at the tavern at night about everything that happened at Jagged Grove. So again, just kind of a repeat of what you guys are already aware of, but maybe a confirmation of general location. But the other thing that you guys would be aware of is that there's been a lot more travelers coming through. Two types. One is more of your miners, so kind of heavier on the dwarf side, heading towards Iron Hope Post, which is a new mining establishment just kind of north along the coastline from Copper Crossing. But the other thing is, it seems the Records Guild has sent some scouts, hunters to head out into the mountains just to see what's out there, kind of document things. But there has been a lot of talk of bears, wolves, not necessarily near Copper Crossing specifically, but just in general. A lot of stories about bears, larger bear that's out there, almost kind of like a legendary tone to it. No name for it has been given. Seems like there's like a pretty large bear that story keeps kind of getting repeated from one conversation to another. But it does sound like last night, or actually, I'm sorry, this morning, a group of hunters went out to see what they could find, and haven't returned yet, but seems like the people that were talking about it were looking forward to hearing their stories, maybe seeing what they bring in. I think the other part of it is, Copper Crossing is a logging town, but I think the eventual hope is that it's continues to grow and does more things. So having a trapper, leather shop, or something, someone that deals with that sort of thing, it might be of use there. Yeah, you definitely would hear a story about a group of hunters, scouts that went out this morning. Find.
Hopefully they don't see us as threats.
I hope not. Hope they went the other direction of the meteor. And if they weren't aware about it, it could be ill news for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you guys would be able to have dinner, and again, opportunity to kind of strategize. But otherwise, the rest of the night goes without issue, and you can head out in the morning.
Cool.
Norman, let me look at your sheet real quick. So, cartography tools, we've got quill, ink, parchment, pair of compasses. Okay, compasses would come in handy here. Yeah, I think with that, no roll is needed. You've got a general idea of where you're going. You're heading northeast, almost like directly northeast.
Cool. Sounds good.
So again, as far as setting goes, once you get out of town, at least about an hour, there is a point where you'll have to cross a river, but you guys kind of walk upstream and cross this river, find a bit of a clearing that has an easy path across it. It's not very deep, at least over here. Calgrim, Vels, you'd be familiar with this spot. You've been here before. Seems like the perfect spot to cross. So imagine you guys would lead them in this area. Not much has changed. There is some obvious signs of camping. Again, that seems to be at least that family's camping spot, where they set up for their hunts. Cross and head further into the woods. Woods are pretty thick over here. It's pine trees, so most of the trees are pretty tall. Not much blocking vision outside of tree trunks. I would say, generally speaking, tree trunks are probably about 10, 15 feet apart. Got a lot of pine needles on the ground. You walk past. Got some shorter trees as well that are trying to grow here. Overall sounds, a lot of birds in the sky that you're hearing. Every step you guys take is a bit of a crunch there. Pine needles, fallen branches, that sort of. Say you guys headed out maybe about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And at about 11 o'clock, so about 2 hours later, you're a good 2 hours outside the nearest civilization, sign of civilization. Besides the birds, you might see some squirrel along the way, deer. As soon as you see the deer and deer sees you, they scatter. Be points where that kind of causes a bit of alarm just to hear the sound of something moving away real fast, and then you'll realize deer or squirrel or something. About 2 hours in, you guys are going to come to another clearing. Sun is shining down. Despite that, it seems a little bit cooler than, at least cooler from when you were in Copper Crossing yesterday. Maybe about like 30 degrees cooler. You guys have crossed the river, going through the woods. You are traversing some hills, so a little bit more up and down action happening. But as you get further up, further closer to the mountains, it is definitely a cooler temperature. You're gonna find this clearing. It's a good maybe like 80 foot cylinder or circle. Got trees all around, but like right here it's just kind of like open field. Got some small wildflowers blooming, but not so much there as far as you can see. Can I get perception checks from everybody? Calgrim. Um. Just for, well, from my perspective, like there's no point for you guys to be like single file. You'd probably be in a bit of a group, but Norbin, you'd be a bit further ahead, maybe two by two. But Calgrim, as you're walking, you're gonna notice matted down grass. Definitely seems like something has been in this area recently. In the last day, last hour, it's hard to tell, but there's definitely some tracks here. It seems like the way the grass is kind of like pushed to the side, heading up, just about in the direction you're heading. Seems pretty large. Seems about at least 6 feet across, whatever it was.
Kind of stop and look at the track, the grass. Have a look.
Okay.
Looks like we're not alone. Whatever it is, seems to be heading in the general direction we're going. You reckon it's this creature of ours, or that large bear that they were talking about at the tavern?
Can I look at the tracks and make a guess?
Yeah, pointing it out, with Calgrim pointing it out at you. You guys looking at it together. I would say go ahead and roll survival at advantage. 20, wow. 26. Big old crit.
I'm rolling crap so far.
You're going to notice a few things about this. Yeah, the brush has definitely been pushed aside. It seemed like something was running through here. Much larger than you are. Much larger than your party is in general. As you kind of look around, you do find actual tracks. You're going to see two sets. The first set that you see is more beast-like. And actually you do see some tufts of hair kind of caught on a tree as it enters into the other side where you guys are walking. Kind of like following that path it took. Again, it seems like in the general direction you guys are heading into, but yeah, once it gets past, there are some tufts of hair caught on some trees and branches and on the ground as well. Definitely beast-like. The footprint itself looks like maybe it rained here overnight, so there's a little bit of mud. But yeah, you get a sense that kind of looks like a bear. Bear tracks. The hair kind of longer, more bristly. Your experience with bears, I don't know how limited or unlimited that is, but I
have
think
a little bit of experience with bears.
Yeah, and knowing you'd be in the Savage Frontier, hearing the stories, especially in Copper Crossing, you'd be aware that there are bears that are out here, so it makes sense. That seems big. Again, amount of brushes. I mean, either there's multiple bears and only one somehow left tracks, or this one that left tracks is big. Again, like we're talking like a good 6 feet in diameter as far as how it's pushing this grass down. think
Okay.
you would be able to tell that maybe this is a common path that it might have taken. Grass wasn't just batted down on one journey. Probably a normal path for it. But the tracks are definitely bare. However, that's not the only tracks you see. You're also going to see a set of footprints that look more like your own. Humanoid. Boots. Seems to be three different sets. Like they're kind of like walking together through this area. They
Alright.
start pretty much where you guys pause to look at everything before you move down. But when you get onto the other side, you're gonna notice there is like a confusing piece to it. There is tracks heading from the north to the south, head into this clearing, and then you don't really see where they go. See these boot tracks continue heading northwest, almost as if it's following this. I would say also with that crit, you would gauge within the last hour that the boot prints were put there. And
Okay.
again, because you crit, the other thing that you would notice is a discrepancy here. The boot prints to the south of the clearing kind of matched your own. You're pausing to look around. You're traveling through here, but once you get to the other side of the clearing, heading into the woods, those boot prints seem a little bit more heavier.
Like they gained weight, they're carrying something.
And maybe they're carrying something.
All right, cool. Just relay that to the party. Looks like someone else got here before we did, so let's keep an eye out.
Pull out my dagger.
Oh, that group of hunters they were talking about. Perhaps you're going after that bear.
Maybe. I think that's the better option of the few.
There's only one way to find out, and Norvin's just gonna start following the tracks.
Well, follow along.
And yeah, part of that information is within the last hour, thereabouts. But also, this is more of an interjection of a point made before. But since the dagger is being pulled out, just want to clarify. The rumors you heard at the tavern is that hunters went out, scouts went out. This seems, at least Copper Crossing seems to be kind of like a point where people start the journey, but they are being sent out by the Records Guild. It's not the Adventurers Guild, but there is no necessary threat between the two. The two work kind of hand in hand. Records Guild sends jobs to Adventurers Guild, and vice versa. So,
Gotcha.
I I think the threat would definitely be the bear. I think the tracks you guys or Norbin would have noticed and relayed to you probably within the last few hours, maybe a little bit earlier in the morning. But the boot tracks were definitely from I would say at this point it's about 11-ish in the morning, probably about 10. So, there could be a threat. Could not be, but definitely if they're hunters from the Records Guild, that wouldn't be your threat. But definitely knowing that other things could be around, I suppose, would cause that reaction. But okay, you guys travel on. I think for sure, hearing from Norbin, and definitely Norbin, your observation. The weighted differently. Again, yeah, if they're hunters and they picked up something in this clearing that wasn't outright obvious to you, they could have picked up something in this clearing. I think that would also kind of suggest maybe it was something else. Definitely bear, but maybe they attack the bear. I think that idea would be in your head. So the clearing isn't necessarily maybe it's not a bear that fully made it as far as like all the recently patted down stuff. Maybe the hunters got it and picked it up and continued traveling in that direction with it. The only counter to that is there was no blood. You're not seeing any signs of blood around.
Carry on until we find some sort of evidence of something.
Carry on. And much of the same scenery, and seems to be getting a bit colder as you head further into the hills. Less trees around. As you reach a peak of a hill. Oh, let me verify. Norbin, I believe you have a pretty decent passive perception. Yeah. If anyone else would notice it. As you reach one of the peaks of the hill, kind of following these footprints, trees kind of break away. It's a little more bare here in these hills, but still it seems like it probably rained recently, and there was loose earth and mud. But I would say at the peak, as you kind of cross that threshold, you would see maybe a couple 100 feet in front of you, Norbin. You would notice there are a few people standing around something that's laying on the ground in front of you. You're on top of a hill. You're kind of you're about to head back down that hill into a little bit of a valley, but you're looking down, and you kind of pause before you get fully into view of them. But yeah, you see there are people down there ahead of you. Say with that passive of 23 or whatever absurd number it is, I'd say you guess there's maybe like 3, which kind of matches the general vibe you got from the tracks you saw before. a good 200-300 feet away from you. So it's not totally clear, but there's definitely 3 people there. But you can see they're standing in front of something. There's something laying on the ground in front of them. Something pretty big.
Okay, and they look like the folk from the Records Guild.
Well, you don't know. They're 300 feet away.
All right. Well, then I guess we'll get close enough to figure out who they are and what they're standing around.
How would you communicate that to the party as far as you seen it? Because you're the only one seeing it at this point.
I'll just there looks like there's a group of people over there looking at something. Probably go see who it is and what it is.
Looks like they're
Are we
friendlies.
we're just being casual about it?
I can't imagine we wouldn't be. We were sent out here to deal with a giant monster that fell out of the sky with a rock. That doesn't look like, or they don't look like that. They look like us.
Fair.
Well, remember Crofter's vision. He said that we would find another group. I think that's the other group.
Presumably.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you guys start walking down the hill. Are you again just walking normally? Are you trying to not raise alert as you're heading out, or what's the deal? What's the intentions here?
Vels at least would just be walking normally.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's any reason to be sneaky.
Yeah, just walking casually.
Dagger still pulled out, Silas?
I'd probably sheath it as we approach. Yeah.
I would say you get about 100 feet away from them. And yeah, there's definitely 3. 2 seem taller than the other. About within 60 feet, you guys would be aware that one's probably a furbolg just based on build. Other one's probably an orc. But then you also have an elf or human. Kind of matches that maybe a little taller than a human, but seems more elf-like. But you're definitely seeing a bow on the elf. On the furbolg, you're seeing a kind of slung over its back. You see a mace. Orc, you're seeing a large hammer, like a war hammer. But whatever's in front of them is definitely furry. You can't really make out what's being said, but there is obvious chatter between the two. They're not necessarily hiding their conversation. It's, you guys are about 60 feet away. They're just talking amongst themselves. As you reach 60 feet, making yourself, making them aware of your presence, waiting until you get closer.
No, call it from a good distance, I think.
You call out, and almost in unison, they all look towards you. Confirmation, yeah, definitely for a bulk orc and elf. And what's your call out? What do you say?
Well, howdy there.
So again, they all kind of turn in unison. York calls out, "Hello, you hunters?"
Well, sometimes, but no, the Adventuring Guild sent us.
Well met. And I imagine this is going from like 60 feet to 50 to 40 to 30. You guys are just continuing to press forward as you're talking. But they don't raise any weapons or anything. But they kind of move away from what they're looking at and kind of head in your general direction. They only move about like 10 feet, so by the time you guys kind of meet, you're all a good 10, 15 feet apart. The orc gives a tusky smile. Well, we're members of the Records Guild, out here on a hunt, tracking a bear. It not what we expected. What are you out here for?
Not a bear. Apparently a meteor fell in the area. We're supposed to go investigate it.
Heard that, yes. Very well. Well, I don't know if it's related, but well, feel free to come take a look at this. And he turns around and heads back over to this big, bushy, furry thing that's laying on the ground. The rest
Great.
of his party goes over as well.
Look at the big furry thing on the ground.
Actually, this is probably a good time for us to take a quick 5-minute break. Get refills, that sort of thing. And then we'll be back at it from here. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Get your drinks. Be right back. All right, I am back.
As am I.
Apologies for the abrupt split there. A 4-year-old knocked on the door. Had to take care of it.
Understandable.
Ready to go?
Yep, I'm back. Back. Waiting on Plasma and Hobbit.
Back.
Very good.
Back as well.
Cool. All right. Very good. All right. So yes. Right. At this point, it is roughly 2 o'clock ish. Maybe not even. Maybe closer to 1. And yeah, you guys are standing in front of a party of a furbolg, an orc, and an elf. They suggested that they are members of the record skills that are out on a hunt, scout. Again, matching rumors that you've heard before. Seem, non-confrontational in general. The orc and the furbolg, about the same height. Both pretty muscular. Orc has very broad-shouldered. Furbolg is, I think you have noticed as you got closer, he's got a bit of a scar on his cheek. But long dark hair, kind of shaggy. The orc seems to be maybe like the face of the group, so was the only one that kind of talked about it. But he's got a thick beard, hair braided, traditional orcish style that you probably have seen around. But yeah, seemed very authoritative in how he talked to you guys. The elf didn't say much at all. But yeah, standard elven fare. Deep brown hair tied in a ponytail. Very sharp features. Had an arrow in her hand as she turned to look at you guys. Actually, as she turned to look at you guys, you could see her kind of reaching for a bow behind her until the conversation continued, and now she's just kind of playing with this arrow. But the orc points at this body that's on the ground. And as you guys look down at it, it is apparently pretty large bear. Talking grizzly, polar bear, almost like size. Like it's just massive. So again, it would kind of match with Norbin what you saw before as far as that clearing goes. The size of it is just huge, but it is dead. And just laying there.
You tell what made it dead?
Well, the orc speaks up. We normally try to take down the creatures for records or full study, but also to sell on the market. Unfortunately, and I Hope you keep this amongst yourselves. Not lay claim to it. Found it this way. We had been tracking it, so it doesn't seem like it has been dead for too long. Though we might have poked it. Definitely starting to get stiff. Norman, as you look at it, you're not seeing any obvious like there's nothing obvious about it. There's no like arrows stuck into it. There's no really any blood around it. Some maybe bruising. You see some, actually no blood coming from like its body, but you do see some blood maybe on its face. Maybe blood on its paw. On one of its claws. We found it here like this, and we've just been debating what we do. Just carve it up, take it to the Records Guild, sell the fur on the market, or I don't know. But we've got and he points to the elf. Alara usually is our main strike force. Furbolg, Silent Wind, heavy. Normally have some kind of strategy for this sort of thing, but whatever took this out just left it, which is very odd. Not guild protocol. The fact that it has no obvious wounds except for what you can see on the face. Maybe the wounds are internal.
Okay. Did whatever hit it in the face hit it hard enough to like scramble its brain? Because that would make it pretty dead.
You know, there's some magics that directly attack the brain, the mind.
Do you guys want to investigate it further? Actually get close to it and try to see what's going on?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
where did the blood come from? Was it like blunt force trauma, or is its skull still intact? And if its skull is still intact, then I guess before we do anything too fancy, where did the blood on its claw come from? Is it its or something else's? And if it's not something else's, then crack open its skull and see if something, like, I don't know, nuked its brain from the outside with psychic powers or some shit.
Okay. Well, who wants to roll for this? Seems like Vels, you had a theory on what it could be as far as maybe it's magic related.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and roll an investigation then.
Yes.
Right, we've got a 7. Nope. So we've got 2 house rolls currently for inspiration. We've got DM inspiration.
Oh.
You guys all started off the session with, but we also have group assistance. So anyone could grant assistance to another person working for the same patron from Tasha's. So, what would you like to do here? Would you like to use DM inspiration? Would like anyone like to
Would someone like
group
to help me?
assistance for this?
Sure. I'll jump in.
No one here has proficiency in investigation, so that by default would require group assistance.
Sorry.
Oh, so yes, if you would like to use group assistance, you can. But
Okay.
it would require that.
Okay.
So you've taken group assistance. Go ahead and roll again. Your advantage roll 10. All right.
Ouch.
So yeah, again, you take a look at the claws, you take a look at the blood. I think I'm sorry, the face. Overall, I would definitely be able to figure out that blood seems to be coming around the eyes. Some coming out of the mouth, but there's definitely blood like on the snout and cheeks that seems to be leading from the eye. But as far as like whether or not the head is still intact despite it, still being on the body, or what would have caused that, I think it's still kind of unclear to you. It would make sense that magic would be involved, but it's not definite in your mind. The claws, though, yeah, you'd be able to figure out that it probably struck something, so it definitely was in some kind of fight. And then based on Norbin, your passive perception, I think you'd be able to look around, and there was definitely some kind of scuffle here. Seems like at least two creatures fought here. Ground is kind of matted down. There is a lot of prints, but they all kind of merge together.
While they're looking at the body, Norbin will try and figure out where the thing that the bear fought with went. What direction did it leave in?
Okay. Survival, perception.
Son of a bitch. And DM inspiration, that one.
Okay.
There we go.
24, and as a perception. So, yeah, just looking over the scenario. Definitely a fight that happened in about a 30-foot radius from where you guys are. You're kind of like at the edge of it from what you can. Whatever it fought, based on what you can observe on the ground, seems like tracks led from the north, headed from the north. Again, you've been tracking potentially the same bear from what you can tell, and the same group of people before. Or I'm sorry, the tracks you saw before seem to kind of match up with these. So, yeah, something came from the north and fought this bear and headed back to the north. Not noticing any blood on the ground as it heads up. But the bear definitely seems to have come from the south. And then stopped here. Does that answer your questions, or do you have anything additional?
No, it sounds like the thing we're looking for is where we expected it to be, and it's killing local bears. And it's not doing it with claws or teeth, so it's got some kind of something else.
And you're saying this out loud, right?
Yep.
Well, whatever, the orc speaks up. Whatever took it out must have been larger. A bear. Normal size, like we could take. This is a big bear. This would be a challenge for even us, and something to just wipe it out without taking much damage. Didn't notice much as far as blood trails or anything like that. That must mean this was an easy target.
Yep.
I'm assuming probably not, but would I somehow recognize this type of damage, I guess? Like aftermath?
Know your full background, but I would think that if there was a scuffle that happened, especially a bear this size, there should be blood drawn on both sides. Obviously, there is some blood on the paws of this, so this bear did attack something. It got some blood from it, but considering there's no trails of blood, it was maybe just opened up a wound, but not big enough for the wound to drip down. I would say overall you're not necessarily recognizing what would cause this, but again, based on the open conversation that's happening, especially with the group of hunters that you're talking with, it would make sense that something larger than the bear, or at least maybe armored, or something that I don't know. I mean, there's no obvious weapon trails here. There's no signs of slashing. There's no signs of piercing. Blood isn't draining from this bear. Like, definitely something else occurred. I think maybe it would make sense to you that especially blood coming out of the eyes, maybe like bludgeoning damage could have caused something like that. But your issue here is there's a lot of fur. Like, if this was a normal humanoid and got attacked, it probably would be a little bit more clear on what caused the damage. But with the fur, it's obstructed outside of the blood coming out of the area.
All right.
And again, just looking at rolls, I would say bells, like, there might be bruising there, but again, you can't necessarily see skin. Could be bludgeoning. Really hard to tell. The orc does speak up, though. Do you think this is related to what you're looking for? Because if so, I'd be a bit hesitant myself. Again, facing a bear this size would be a hefty challenge for us. Though You know, a bear this size is pretty legendary. That'll get a name for ourselves, but something that could take it out. Not necessarily our what we've signed up for.
It's quite possibly related, but well,
We could always just pack it in and go home.
Yeah, I mean, if it can take out a bear of that size, it's too dangerous to be kept out there. If it were to wander into a town, it'd be disastrous.
Yes, I don't mean to speak for my friend here, but and he just kind of motions off to the furball, or what he called Silent Wind before. But yes, something larger than that could be a threat from a natural perspective. If it is related to what you're looking for. We've all heard the rumors. Taking it out before it causes any permanent damage to the nature of this place. Be ideal.
Oh, I think we ought to get moving because, I mean, it appears the bear did at least a little something, so whatever the creature is, it may be wounded, and that should give us a slight advantage. It'd be best to find it before it can recover.
Let's go run it down then.
Well, we wish you good luck. Again, not something we would undertake ourselves. We'll figure out what to do with this bear. I mean, that there are creatures this size. Oh, the Records Guild would be very interested. Sure, the Laborers and Merchants Guild would be interested in this fur. Well, we'll take this part. Good luck on yours.
Thank you, and take care.
Safe travels.
All right. As you guys head out, following the tracks that you see heading further northeast, history or Arcana. I think I would accept either of the two. Again, we'll do a group check. Not that you all have to roll the same thing. Roll whatever it feels makes sense. We're just looking at the numbers for the group check.
What are we doing particularly?
We are looking at whether or not you would come up with a conclusion on what kind of damage it took. As you're kind of walking away thinking about like what could have caused this. Not necessarily the figure, but just, you know, again, there were no obvious markings of wounds. So what would have done this?
Yeah, I've got no idea.
Man, trying to think, Calgrim, you've experienced so far. Like, what would make sense to you? I think there would be no conclusive evidence, but Norbin, you would get the idea that, again, if it's internal wounds, it could be bludgeoning, and you're just not seeing it from the outside because of all the fur. It could be in some internal bleeding that's just kind of leaking out through the first hole it can find, which would be the eyes and the nose. But another possibility is psychic. But again, nothing fully conclusive. As you guys continue following these tracks, what's that conversation like? Again, I think you guys would all be familiar with what happened in Jagged Grove, based on reports that you would have read up on, especially in to prepare for what you're heading into. But this seems a bit different. Again, it was Jagged Grove. It was a lot of, a good dozen smaller creatures. There was a larger creature was involved, but the reports that you read, the stories that you've heard, seem to confirm Lovecrafter's opinion that one was younger and weakened. But what happened in Jagged Grove was there was a lot of smaller creatures that were out and about, and they seemed more like scavengers, more off to maim the weaker rather than take out something this size. What is that conversation like?
I feel like at this point we're potentially closing on the thing, so maybe it's sneaky time.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think based at the scene, the fact that the bear has already started to get stiff, rigor mortis has started to set in. You think it's probably been a couple of hours at least since the confrontation. As far as being sneaky, is that something you guys want to roll? To sneak forward, or would that be something you would like me to roll?
If we're making stealth checks, we would roll those now.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving you the option of me rolling it for you. But if that is the case, everyone roll stealth. Oh, gosh, 2 crit fails.
Oh no! Oh no!
Again, you've got those who do
Rolling
have it have
incredibly poorly today.
DM Inspiration, but if you've already used it, Group assistance from others?
I'll give group assistance to Norman.
I see Calgrim like almost trip. I'm like, no. Grabs his hand. Nope. Careful, Calgrim.
All my tools and stuff are just clanking around.
Then the both of you go ahead and reroll. And,
I'll
and,
reroll, sorry.
and get above a crit fail, please.
I'm actually cursed. I think everything I've rolled tonight without advantage was below 7.
Okay, well, 12 and 17. So we got a 19, 17, 17, 12. All right. So for the foreseeable future, as you guys continue to follow this path, Norben is leading the charge here. Following this path, Calgrim maybe close to the side. You both are proficient in survival. Following this path, you guys are sneaking ahead, and I would say it would probably take about an hour or so before you would all start to sense temperature change. Again, it's been getting colder. So from the time you left Copper Crossing, you got into the hills. By the time you got to the hills, it felt like almost 30 degrees colder. By the time you got out to this area, it'd be about 40 degrees colder. Now, what is that in Celsius terms? Let me clarify. So you guys started at about I'm sorry. Plasma, you're US?
Yes, I'm US.
Okay. So this is really just for stats. Canadian friend.
It's about 22 degrees difference.
So it started off at about 21 Celsius. And it got to oops.
It's a little chilly. I got it.
Yeah, it got up to about -1.
Yeah.
So it definitely got chillier. But after about an hour, you're starting to feel a bit of heat. You're gonna notice a few things as you travel. Again, about an hour closer to the mountains, or closer to this this little stamp we've got here, marker. And again, you're gonna feel a little bit more heat, so it's a little bit more comfortable. I would say about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius. But you're gonna notice a few things as you walk. There's some loose, smoking rocks that are on the ground. Small, maybe a couple inches in diameter, kind of sitting on the ground. There's definitely, because of the heat difference, there's definitely a bit of smoke there. Not smoke, but water condensation, I guess. A little fog coming off of it. You got some smaller pieces, not all together, just kind of like randomly throughout your walk. But you guys are gonna reach another clearing, and again, the temperature is gonna continue to kind of rise up, get a bit warmer. And Norben, you're in the lead alongside Calgrim. And Norben, you're gonna notice there is a very obvious smoke rising in front of you. And you're about, like, you're just kind of cresting over this hill. And
All
a
right,
bit
I'll
further
just-
up in the mountain, you're very close to the actual mountains. You've been steadily going up despite the hills, but up as the mountains start to really rise, you notice there is smoke rising. The other thing you're gonna see is you're gonna be in a bit of a clearing. Again, you're just kind of cresting over this hill, but you can see in front of you a good couple 100 feet the source of this. There is definitely an impact area on the ground, and almost like a reddish fire light flickering about coming from where the smoke is rising from.
Great, we found it. I will
And
point this out to everyone and then keep an eye out for the creature as we move towards our meteor.
as you get about 100 feet away from it, as you're climbing down a hill, again, you're being stealthy, being as quiet as possible, looking about, and very close to the impact area where the smoke is rising from. You're gonna notice there is a shape that kind of like moves in and out. It's almost like a silhouette. It's kind of like walking around and kind of pauses one spot and then moves. But I would say, like, at the 100 feet mark, yeah, there is a large humanoid-like creature, so bipedal, with the light coming from the impact zone. Kind of hard to tell colors, but definitely from like a reddish tint to the skin. This definitely does kind of match up with everything you've heard so far from left. So you're good like 100 feet away. And as you're coming down this hill towards it, no sign that it has noticed you yet.
Yeah, stop and take cover as soon as I see it. Point out to everyone else.
Find a rock and hide behind it. Get closer.
Mm-hmm.
Again, throughout this part of the journey, there's been like small pebble-sized rocks that are obviously different. They're not matching rocks that's seen. They're almost like a darker color, but definitely there's heat coming from it. It's warming your path as you go. But yeah, I think there would be areas to kind of stand behind. Again, there's not a lot of trees in this region. But I think something that would be obvious to you as you look down towards this, there is a gap in the mountains that you can see that just kind of fades to white. Background seems to be an area that you can see, the Nordland area. Vels, you would obviously be familiar with this more snowy region. But it definitely seems like you're relatively close and you can...
We gonna take it out? Look at the party.
I
Are we just
Believe
gonna
so.
rush it, or?
Norbert's gonna pull out his bow. Like, I'm not gonna be rushing, but if anyone needs to get closer, this would be the time.
Yeah.
Does anyone need to get closer? Can we all attack from 100 feet away?
That's what I'm
Oh,
trying
yes,
to
I'll
check
probably
real
need to
quick.
go
I mean-
closer.
Let me get a little bit closer. I'm trying to my ranges are.
How far away are we at this moment?
Hundred feet.
That's 100.
100
That's
feet.
120
Okay.
feet.
I got a short bow.
60.
That works.
60.
Because the question would be, how close do you want to get to this thing before attacking? Definitely seems large. Seems like the target you're looking to take out. Seems to be alone. Potentially defending
Essentially.
the impact zone, which would match. Luft suggested. Also
There's
seems
4 of us.
pretty large enough to take out a giant bear.
Yeah, we could kill Giant Bear too. Okay, there's 4 of us. I attack at range. Who else?
I can hit it from here, to be honest. I'd like to be a little bit closer, but
Okay, so you want to get closer. Who else needs to move in to do this properly?
I'm kind of either or.
Either or. Okay, and
I do have a bow, but I've normally stuck with the Warhammer.
okay, yeah, Warhammer for sure. So from where we are, based on its activity and the terrain, can Norbin scout out a route that would be like an ideal route for the people who need to get closer to sneak into this thing?
Sneak into this thing. I mean, once you get past this point, I think it would be obvious to you that it would be hard for it not to notice. This is a clearing. So you've got some rocks kind of thrown about, but the impact zone itself seemed to have cleared out any large grass, like tall grass in the area, just kind of matted it down. It definitely struck, but it seemed to, as it struck, you're definitely seeing signs of some kind of explosion of some kind. So there's a lot of streaks in the ground. Ground turned from all solid grass to mud, dirt, rocks. So anyone who would want to get close it would be difficult to go without being seen, especially if Luft was correct that it is here protecting the impact zone.
Okay. I'll try and make it look away from us, and then if that works, you guys just rush it while it's looking the other way for a brief instant. That's all I got. Unless someone can do something better.
I'll be fine here. I can let me
You said there wasn't trees around, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I can lob an arrow past it and like just aim for something that'll make a clattering noise on its opposite, like opposite where we are, and ideally it turns around to look at that noise, and then while it's turned around, everyone who needs to go fucking goes.
Yeah, so just to clarify the context, You've got an impact area, probably at least 20 to 30 feet across, radius. It is glowing. There's light coming from it. You've got a bit of a purple haze that is around it for a good 15-20 feet as well. And this figure is standing within that haze. So he's within 5-10 feet of the impact of the actual crater. So it's you 100 feet right now. And I would say 100 feet from the impact. So probably about 80 feet from it. And then it from the crater itself. Be about 5-10 feet.
Gotcha.
We talked about lobbing an arrow.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? This is technically a surprise round. So if anything in particular you want to do, this would be the time. But after this fact, we would actually go into an initiative order.
You want me to go with you, Calgrim?
If you would like to help out close range, then feel free. Or if you're more ideal from a range distance, you can stay back, and I can try and keep this thing on me without getting ripped to shreds.
And actually, let me do this. Let me bring you guys to another map. That'll be a little bit more clear on what the scene looks like. Bringing you to a map. You're on the lower left side of the map. So again, a good probably 100 feet, 80-ish feet from different parts.
All right. Are we going?
Your Calgrim, before you go, I'm going to cast Dragon's Breath on you. So now you can breathe Dragon Fire.
Oh.
I don't know if this is... Oh, I choose one. Assuming since everything's burning, maybe resistant to fire. Calvin, what do you want to do? You want to do lightning, poison, acid, or cold?
Ooh. I reckon maybe try acid, maybe.
Acid, okay. So for the next...
One minute.
Till spell ends, touch. Yes, 1 minute. So next 1 minute you can breathe fire. Or acid, rather.
Do we have anything else that we need to prep?
No.
Okay. And this is a surprise round?
Yes, it is a surprise round. So, okay, so we've got, it sounds like we've got an arrow that is going to be shot
And the
pass.
goal of the arrow was to get us a surprise round, so I'm probably just gonna fucking
no,
shoot
there's
it.
already a surprise round. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
to have close to yet.
Yeah, so I
So-
think fucking just rush it. I'm just gonna shoot it in the face and get this
Okay.
over with.
So you're gonna shoot an arrow towards it. We also have Vels. You're gonna use magic against it.
Yes. Use chill touch.
You're gonna use chill touch towards it. That's within range, or you got to move up.
It's in range, 120 feet.
Okay. Calgrim, what's your plan here?
I'm gonna sprint towards it as best I can and try and draw the attention of it to me once we're all in combat.
You're gonna dash, so you can probably move. You can move up to 50 feet, so right around this area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Phyllis, what's your?
I was gonna go with Calgrim, so I'll probably I'll go like right around here.
You're gonna charge in with Calgrim.
Yeah. I'll be a bit off to the side, but alongside him, yeah. Just a few feet away.
Okay. Yeah, Calgrim is 5 feet in front of you. You've got so Calgrim's movement is 25. You've got 30. So yeah, you could stick with him, no problem. Charge in. Okay. Well, it's just to get it out of the way, let's go ahead and roll initiative. But you will have this surprise round. So we've got two that are using their action to charge in. We've got two that are attacking at him. So, okay, those who are attacking at afar, Norbin, Bells, go ahead and make those attacks. Those who are charging in, go ahead and move your dash action. So we got 50 feet from Calgrim. We've got 60 feet from...
Why did I forget how to move?
You might have the ruler. Oh, okay, you got it. Good. All right, so we've got chill touch. Chill touch has been cast. So a creature, you create a ghostly skeletal hand. Space of a creature within range, make a ranged spell attack. So go ahead and make that attack. You made a 16. A 16 eats it and beats it.
Would these be an advantage because it doesn't know we're here?
Yes. Yes, that's accurate. Surprise round. So go ahead and roll again. See if you get a crit.
Roll again.
23. Not a crit, but you do hit.
None. Oh.
For 8. Necrotic.
I'm gonna drop Hunter's Mark on him. Shoot him. And then
Okay,
shoot him.
yeah, 19 connects. Hunter's Mark inflicts 4 damage. Hunter's Mark inflicts 4 damage. Was that? You've got multi-attack. Happening here.
Yeah, the ambush lets me shoot twice on my first attack in combat.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So 27 damage.
19 connects and 22. Okay. So, let me do this. First of all, chill touch. Necrotic damage. It'll take the 8. Begin the attack. 8. So as you guys begin to charge in, Bells, this hand comes and kind of swipes past it. You don't really see much, but you do notice that is for sure what has caused it to start to turn. Look towards you guys as it turns the ambush from Norbin. 2 arrows will pierce through. 22 and a 19 will both connect. And so we've got 7 and 8. I think with the purple haze, it's kind of hard to see from this distance, but I would say, Norbin, you are aware that, like, you know that you drew strong, you shot strong, should have hit, but I think you would maybe notice that it doesn't do as much damage as you're hoping for. We've got 19. Yeah, it like the arrow is definitely like connected, but they didn't puncture.
Yeah, there's
Quite
an extra 8 on
possible.
that from Hunter's Mark.
An extra 8. Okay, good. It's maybe there's some
Resistant
there
to
that
non-magical
you're going.
piercing. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll begin. This guy is now aware of the situation. He's been pelted with arrows and a chill touch. He turns and he looks and he sees two groups that are moving towards it. So he is doesn't have any weapons. And there's another thing you guys would notice. But he's just gonna kind of like move up here, and he seems to be taking a defensive stance. Norbin. '28. Oh my god, a good crit. Okay.
Nice.
All right, 15. So plus 7 for Hunter's Mark. Yikes.
Oops, I got.
So the arrow strikes. You see it kind of like as it's moving forward. You're pelting it with more arrows. You're seeing it like kind of like not stumble, but just be kind of jostled as it moves forward. But arrows hit and hit hard. Calgrim, you're charging forward. It is within. It has moved up. It seems to be taking a defensive stance. It is within 40 feet of you. So charge forward for melee would require a dash. Got a ranged. Good spot to use it.
I would like to also use Giant Smite as well. Would that work here?
Put it in the chat.
Just one more.
Because I don't remember what.
Yeah.
Again, it's been like a month and a half, 2 months, 3 months. Giant Smite. Okay, so this is anything in specific, because this gives you 3 options. Oh no, that's just 3. Yeah, three benefits. Anything in particular you want me to look at?
Just becoming larger.
Oh, you want to become large.
Yeah.
If you're small and large, you become large. Along with anything you're wearing, if you lack the room to become large. So, yeah, you can definitely become large, but that I don't think that adjusts your speed. I don't think that
Right.
changes your speed. But you could become larger for sure.
I think it was mostly just so it can like just be, because since it's really tall, just have the height. That's all. So it can kind of distract it. But say like a larger thing. That's all.
Okay, that sounds good. So I'll go ahead and make your token larger.
Yeah. And I'm still able to go within 35 feet, right?
Well, your speed is 25 feet, so you'd have to dash in. So you'd have to use your action to get up to it. You know it is kind of paused and it is just waiting. It seems to be waiting for something.
Okay. I'll go 25 feet.
Okay.
Probably just like have a little bit of time to try and just quickly survey the creature before I like go full into it. Just to
Well,
see where I'm going.
you roughly feel like you're more close to its side. Still taller than you, dwarf and all, but yeah, it's definitely feel like it's a large creature. So probably something larger than you've accounted for before. You can size it up. You are within 10 feet of it. Any bonus actions, free actions that you'd like to use here?
No, that'll be it.
Okay, so you could definitely hold your action if you'd like to. You can ready an action, so if it moves closer, then you swing. If it gets within melee, then you can swing. Let me look at this. So, large along with anything you are wearing.
You also have Dragon's Breath, which is a 15-foot cone. Okay.
15-foot cone would work here, yeah. But for all intents and purposes, yeah, as far as an action to take, you could take an action to just ready something. So if it moves closer, then you strike with your weapon, or you take the dodge action, which means that if it attacks you, it attacks at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I'll get my weapon ready up and just hold that.
Okay, so if it gets closer to you, then you will attack it. Zillus.
Okay. So I'm gonna move kind of use cunning action dash, right? I could do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a rogue. I'd imagine. You take a bonus action to use dash. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll run over here, and then I will cast Ray of Frost.
24.
Sweet.
That is a crit.
Okay. So then damage. Okay. Cool.
So with Ray of Frost, yeah, it is a Ray of Frost. So yeah, it like you see frost kind of cover over it as it makes impact. You definitely see that it is affected by that for sure. 15 cold damage it will take. Anything else you'd like to do? That was your action, that was your bonus action, and your movement.
There's not much else. I don't think I can do anything else.
Partial movement at least. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So that was your movement's 30. So you moved 45. So you can move an additional 15 feet.
think
and then
I'll
free
stay
action.
here.
Yeah, free action is just if you want to shout out anything to your party. Or it, for that matter.
Mm-hmm. Think I'm good. I'll just wait to see what happens next.
Bells.
All right, I'm gonna move up 30 feet. Make sure that was the spot I want to be, because I want to be 60 feet. We're good, so I can do all my things. I would like to get out of the roller. Thank you. No. Hang on, I'm stuck in the roller.
Hit escape. Hit right
That's
click.
not- I don't know what's going on with that.
Refresh.
Yeah,
refresh your
here, I'll roll my thing.
Because
I'll roll my
I'm
things first.
seeing your ruler move,
Yeah.
but you can probably refresh and. get out of
Oh
that.
no, that's a concentration. Never mind. And then I'm just gonna cast. Yeah, it'll touch again. And. There you go.
25 connects.
Ooh, nice. Oh, okay. I'll refresh.
4 necrotic damage. Okay. Let's say as you get closer and you deal this, you're starting to see some of that reddish tint turn dark, turn black. Match what your effect does. Yeah, it definitely seems to hit. You can see it kind of hesitate as it looks back and forth between Calgrim and Zillis. Anything else?
That is all.
Okay. Then it's gonna move up and it's gonna charge Zillis.
Oh, great.
And it's gonna swing. It's open hand. It's got some claws on it. 26 will connect.
Yeah.
It's gonna deal 15 bludgeoning damage. Just basically just punches you in the face.
Ouch.
Wait. So it's gonna punch you in the face for the for the 2d8 plus 5, so it's 15, and then it seems to use the other to try and grab a hold of you. I'm gonna need an athletics check from you.
Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I'm not great at that. Oof. Yeah.
The crit. And yeah, it's gonna like punch you, and then it's gonna go ahead with its other hand grab a hold of you. You are now grappled. And just to be clear what that's gonna do, let me get that there. Grappled. So your speed is 0, as it just basically like grabs you and picks you up. It's gonna hold you. That's it. It's just your speed is at 0. Doesn't necessarily affect your ability to strike it, especially in melee.
Okay.
But if you want to break out of this grapple, it's going to need another athletics challenge.
And that's going to
Athletics
take an
versus
action, right?
athletics. Yes, that would be your action.
Yeah. Okay.
But that is its turn. Norbin.
Or do the one thing that Norbin does. 12 damage. Maybe we'll back up a little bit.
All right, hold on a second. Let me move you. The Z index is weird. Okay, so longbow. So he's got you picked up. You're kind of closer to his chest, just kind of holding you up. Zillus. Longbow. 22 connects. 11 piercing. Plus the 1 damage for Hunter's Mark. And yeah, again, you know what your bow does. You know the shot that you're taking. Any normal creature like that should hit real hard. Based on your knowledge of your abilities, but that seems to not do as much. It's like barely holding it back. It's still like holding onto it. Like you hit it in the shoulder. See the arrow just kind of like dink it and pop off to the side. Calgrim. This creature has moved away from you. It is holding up Zillus, your party member. What would you like to do?
I'll chase after it. Go there. And try and give it a hit.
Oh,
Give it a whack.
23 will connect with your Warhammer. For 6 bludgeoning. And can you clarify for me, remind me, because it's been a while, is there any magical effects to your Warhammer?
Yes, Fire Rune is on it.
Okay, so Fire Rune. When you hit a creature with an attack using a weapon, you can invoke the rune to summon fiery shackles. The target takes an extra 2d6 fire damage, and it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained for 1 minute. So if that is the case, go ahead and roll that 2d6.
When is that? Oh, just there.
So target takes an extra d6 damage, and it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained. Not seeing anything specified in what would be a strength saving throw. I'm sure that's based off of your fighter. So let me look
The
it up real
saves are
quick.
DC 8 plus proficiency plus constitution.
All right, so give me so DC 8 plus your constitution. So what's your constitution modifier? Be your plus whatever it says on the left side of your feet.
1 moment. Constitution. The plus on the left side, right?
Mm-hmm.
0.
It's just 8. Let's verify that real quick.
And proficiency, so it should be
And
at least
proficiency.
10.
So, yeah, 8 plus 0 plus 2, that'd be 10. So it's got to make a 10 Constitution. The Constitution check.
Oh. Saving throw, ability check.
For the saving throw, is it Constitution or was it based on Fire Ruin?
Strength saving throw looks like.
Strength saving throw. Okay. Strength saving throw. 17. It'll make that save, so it is not restrained. Extra 2d6 fire damage, and it must. So it's going to take that fire damage, but it is not restrained. So go ahead and roll your 2d6. I think is what you did. So that's 3. So 9. I'll say what you notice is that like your strike, any normal creature that you hit should have a particular feel to it. Like this felt exactly like hitting anything else, but there's a bit of resistance there that you'd be aware of. It seems to be look at that fire damage for sure, but your actual bludgeoning seems to resist. Just do it. Anything else?
It'd be too close with Dragon's Breath since Zillus is like caught in his arms, so
Yeah.
I'd
I mean,
probably
generally
save
speaking,
that.
yeah, it's like right. But that was your action. Is Dragon Breath bonus?
Oh, that. Yeah, would be.
If it's a 15-foot cone, I would tell you that Zillus would not be affected by that.
Will not. Okay.
If you want to use it,
I'll
here.
go use it here. Yeah.
Is there a roll? What's the
The
action?
saving throw for Dragon's Breath?
Yeah, sorry.
It's, DC 15 dexterity.
Dexterity saving throw 6, so it's gonna miss that. What's the damage?
I believe it's 3d6 Calgrim.
So go ahead and roll 3d6, please.
Yep.
7. Okay. Yeah, so you bellow out a dragon's breath engulfs this creature. He's just kind of holding out Zillus off to the side, like in front of him. From like your standpoint, just kind of holding out Zillus in front of him. Dragon's breath him, 7 damage. He is definitely aware of your existence where you are. That was movement, action, bonus action. Any free action, you still have a little bit more left of movement.
Probably gonna try and move 10.
You move 25 feet. So actually, what's your movement? Your movement's 25 feet? Then I take that back. That was all your movements. 5, 10, 15. That's all your movement. But free action, you've got a free action left.
It should be good. I'll end my turn now.
Dillis.
Okay. Did you say I could do acrobatics or athletics?
I did not say that.
Oh, okay. Just athletics.
I would say athletics at this point. He's squeezing. He's squeezing. I could say athletics.
Then I'll do that.
You're trying to break away from its grip. Strength saving throw, or I'm sorry, acrobatics check. Hit 6. It is distracted by Calgrim and what Calgrim's got going on. You're going to be able to break away and slip down back to the ground. You're no longer grappled.
Sweet. Okay, if I run away, is it gonna have an opportunity attack on me?
Yes, but if you use cunning action to disengage as your bonus action, you can move away without incident.
Ooh, okay, then I'll do that. So then I'll just move I'll just move over here.
Okay, so that's bonus and action.
And then move.
I'm. Yeah.
yeah.
Well. Cunning action. Yeah. Yeah, that's your movement as well. That's your bonus action and normal movement. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do?
Bonus action.
Free action.
Normal. Free action to escape. That's what we said. Or
No. Free action
so
is just conversation, just yelling out orders
Okay.
or suggestions or that messages.
guess I'll just yell out, "That guy hurts!" as I run away.
Yeah, Vels.
All right.
You've got an open shot. He has let go of Zillus, and Zillus run away as you're acting. What would you like to do?
I am going to move a little bit closer and focus on injecting kind of like screams into his mind and cast Dissonant Whispers. So that
Hey, a
is
wisdom-
DC 15 Wisdom.
Some saving throw. It'll fail that save.
9 psychic damage, and he has to, well, his turn, he has to use his movement to, is it his turn or reaction? Let me double check. Immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows. Away from
Okay.
me.
So a few things are going to happen here. First of all, you're going to witness Calgrim. Calgrim, you're going to take that 9 psychic damage. You're unsure the cause, but it seemed to propel off of him. Dissonant Whispers. So, on a failed save, it takes 3 action if available to move far as its speed. Okay. So it's gonna move back. Calgrim, you're gonna be taking damage at the same time. So I'm gonna say you can attack with an opportunity, but at disadvantage.
Okay.
As it's
Back at disadvantage.
we read this if R as its speed allows away from you, the target doesn't move into obviously rounds. But okay, it can move back. There's nothing that's suggesting that it has to stay away from you. But yes, the Warhammer will miss. Like, you're just feeling like a lot of headache right here. And you're not sure why.
Alright.
Feeling like pain around your eyes, pain in your head. Vels, anything else? You see him moving away.
No.
So it seems to
Vels
have affected him.
It kind of affected him, but not completely. Okay. Vels makes a mental note not to use that spell again. And that's it.
Okay. He's gonna move back up. And gonna be touching chests, touching bellies. Let's go ahead and do another claw attack. So he's gonna swing with his claw attack of 14. Is a 14 connect? Not. So that was the right hand. The left hand is gonna swing. 25 will connect. 14 bludgeoning. And strength saving throw. Please, Calgrim.
Strength saving through.
$18. So you beat the grapple. So he tries to pick you up and hold you. You're able to push away, but you're also going to take an additional 15 psychic damage. So again, that same pain, feeling your head and your eyes, you're going to like feel like reverberate here.
Yikes.
But yes, you are not grappled. Norbin. You see him swinging and connecting, at least with the left hand. What would you like to do?
Yeah, move and shoot.
Another longbow 20 will connect. Arrow slices through. It's minus 11. Oop, I'm sorry. Let me bring you back, Alvin. There you go. There you are. I don't know how that happened. Okay. But the arrow does puncture, and is just kind of sticking there. But I think from your standpoint, very upright, very ignorant of that pain.
Yeah, I don't
Not
have to think
necessarily
about it. So.
immune. Yeah, not necessarily immune, but just like there's more things to focus on from its standpoint. But no bonus actions, nothing.
No, I'm a level 4 ranger. I can't do fucking shit.
Yeah, zealous. Been there.
Okay. So my dagger's not great from afar, so I will just cast Ray of Frost again. Am I in range? 60 feet. Yeah, that's just 30. Okay. So I'm gonna cast that. 16.
Okay.
Will that hit?
One second. Let me look at something real quick. Oops. gonna make sure your hit points were at maximum. They are. All right. So Zillis, you are going to attack. 16 will meet and beat. 16 is what you guys are looking for as far as your DC here. So that will connect. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yay! Take that!
Massive damage.
One.
Really dramatic
see-
spellcasting.
You see a little bit of ice and frost form on it, but it deforms pretty quickly because of the heat coming from the impact area. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm pretty happy with where I am. Yeah, I'm good. That'll be it.
Vels.
What? I'm looking at the initiative tracker. I think Calgrim, when he got deleted, he lost his initiative.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
wait.
possible. Let me double check some stuff. Let me get you back in there. All right, so scrolling back up in the chat as far as it goes. A lot of chat. You rolled a Calgary rolled an 11. Get you back in here. Okay, so Calgrim, you would have gone first. Let me do some. But okay, yeah, you're. Let's go, Calgrim. What are you doing here?
I'm gonna drink up the health potion.
Okay. As in, so to clarify, it as in that's your action, or that's your bonus action.
Bonus action.
Okay, so bonus action, yes, you roll, so you would get a 5. Action, you get the full health. That's bonus
token.
action. What else? What else are you doing here?
See. I'm gonna use second wind. Oh wait, that is a bonus action. Yeah, that looks like a bonus action. Okay. I'll probably I don't know if I should give it another swing or not. I probably should. I'll give it a swing.
here? 8. We'll miss.
Damn it. Okay. I need to just that was 5 from the healing. I'll just put that. I need to update that.
Okay.
I still have enough for movement, right?
Excuse me. Try talking and drinking at the same time. You can move, but you haven't noticed it taking a reaction, so it could attack you as you move away.
Okay. Stay put.
All right. With that said, for those observant folks, you definitely are aware that very big Calgrim is hurt. Bells. As in her bad. There's definitely some blood pouring out.
I don't have any heal spells. So I'm gonna. Do I have? I'll look that later. It's fine. I'm gonna cast Chromatic Orb. Try to do some serious damage to this guy. So...
23 connects with Chromatic
3
Orb.
connects. All right. Then, because I cast that at 2nd level, let's see. Oh, I don't have an attack button.
Sphere of energy
48.
opens up around in front of this guy, kind of like hits it in the face. You can choose what type of damage it takes between
Type
acid,
damage,
cold,
I'm
fire,
doing
lightning,
light.
poison, or thunder.
Lightning. 4. I needed a space, that's what I needed. Okay.
Okay, I just rolled to verify there's no mods attached to that, but yeah, 48, 18 damage. Take the full brunt of that. But yeah, you just kind of explode that in its face. Again, what type of damage?
Lightning.
Lightning. So yeah, sparks kind of arise. And you see like just kind of an explosion in front of its face. Kind of singes it. Anything else?
I believe. I think that's all I can do right now. Yep.
Okay, its turn. It's going to away. Actually, maybe it won't move. What's its speed? It'll stay here. Calgrim. Two things. Right hand and a left hand. 20 will connect. So let's stick with that right hand first. I'm gonna need you to roll me a athletics check. DC is 14. So it's gonna hit, and this right hand is gonna kind of like try to grab you from the back of your neck, your head area, try to pull you closer, trying to pull you in and grapple you. Athletics check. Or I'm sorry, a strength save. We'll say a strength save.
Oh, strength save. Okay.
13 will miss, so it is going to grapple you. You're also going to take an additional 18 psychic damage. Again, that feeling in your head. So total of 13 plus 18. 31.
Oh.
13 bludgeoning. Slams you against the side of your head. 18 psychic damage. How you looking?
Definitely not good.
Can you be more precise for the viewing audience?
like 0.
All right, you're unconscious.
Ouch.
It's gonna pick you up. It's gonna pick you up, and I think everyone else that's around would be there. That Calgrim doesn't look very good. The question is, does that take you down to medium size, or does it keep you at your current?
I thought a giant smite would probably worn off by now, right? I can't remember how
I
long
don't
it lasts
know.
for.
I don't know.
Lasts for a minute, so it would still be going based on time.
Okay. Probably still be full size and then.
Yeah, it doesn't require concentration and doesn't say anything about ending when he's unconscious.
So you're unconscious as you get pulled up. I think at this point, it would be a good spot for you to make a death saving throw. Do you want me to make that for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it grabs a hold of you after it hits you. And it is going to slam you against the ground. We're gonna treat this as 2 failed death saving throws. And it's going to move forward 30 feet. So, everyone else's point of view, what they're going to see is Calgrim is like hit, lifted up, and thrown to the ground. That is its turn. Going to move forward. Norbin. Calgrim is taken out. I think at this point it would make sense that Calgrim is regular size.
All right. Now we're just gonna dash.
Okay, you've dashed, so that's your action. What are you doing here?
Dashing. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Calgrim, another death saving throw, please. Do you want me to roll this for you or not? Do you want me to roll? Do you want to roll this?
Yeah, I can roll it.
All right, go
where
ahead.
do you find it?
So on your character sheet, I don't know.
It's attributes and then
yeah,
to the
well,
right
actually,
of
yeah, it's
your
attributes
skills.
and death saves. You're gonna see a check and an X, but if you
Yeah.
hover over death saves, it'll you can click that. But do you want everyone else to see this, or do you just want me to see it? I guess is that situation here.
I'll just roll it. Yeah, everyone can see it. Yeah.
Okay. 15. Okay, that's a save. But that is their turn. Zillis.
Okay.
Calgrim has just been kind of slammed down. with a lot of might.
Mm.
It has moved forward. It doesn't look damaged. Like, it looks damaged, but not like near death. Looks
All right,
almost
I'm gonna
as if it did before.
run over.
Yeah, you see Calgrim laying down. Go ahead.
I'll run over. And can I use my healing potion?
Yes, you
On
can.
him.
You can as an action.
Yeah,
I'll
do it as an action.
Okay. So go ahead
Um,
and take the full 10 then, if that's the case. Calgrim, you're gonna take 10 healing.
Healing.
So as he's dumping it into your throat, you are gonna wake up, but you are prone.
Um,
So you throw you insert the health potion into Calgrim's mouth. You drain it into him. Pretty confident that's gonna wake him up. That is your action. What
yeah.
else are you doing?
None of my spells are bonus actions, annoyingly. So yeah, I'm just gonna stay here.
Okay.
And hope for the best.
I think you'd be aware that Calgrim lights are starting to blink. So eyes are starting to open. Bells.
All
This
right.
creature is starting to move
question.
towards you. What would you like to do?
One question. Dragon's Breath.
Yeah.
Because Calgrim went unconscious, would that keep over unconscious? Because I can't transfer it. I can't transfer it is what I'm saying. So is Calgrim keeping Dragon's Breath or no?
All right.
Yeah.
How are you doing this before?
It's through concentration.
But is that a spell?
Yeah, it's a spell.
What level?
Second.
Okay. Let me read this real quick. So it's not well, it is concentration, but you can drop that concentration whenever.
Yeah. All right. Well, considering Calgrim's state, I don't think he wants to fight, so I'm gonna drop concentration. I'm gonna. Yes, I would like to end concentration on that and cast Hex on. I'm gonna give him disadvantage on strength checks. And then was 1d6 as well. Let's see. Distance was there. I'm gonna back up and cast Chromatic Orb again.
Okay.
Attack normal. Ouch.
8. Anyone would like to give advantage with group assistance?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You re-roll that then.
Okay. I have to do. Attack. Nope.
Yeah.
Bad rolls. Ouch.
You're aware of the DC, but yeah, that will definitely miss. You send this chromatic orb, kind of fizzles out past his head. It doesn't connect. That's your action.
That's my action. So that's all. Movement, action, bonus action,
5,
all
10,
that.
15, 20. That's 20 feet of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 20 feet
Yeah,
of
we'll keep
movement,
that.
and you'll have a free action. Anything else you'd like to say?
I'm use my free action. If we keep our distance, we might be able to take him.
Okay. This guy's turn. It's going to look around. It sees the closest threat. It is going to move towards Norbin. It will hit with its claws. So right hand. Right hand. 12. You duck underneath. Left hand. Swings 22. Will connect. For 13 bludgeoning damage is what you feel upright. At first, go ahead and roll me a strength saving throw. I think is what we said.
Is this a normal grapple or no?
So what we've been doing is a strength saving throw.
All right.
7 misses. It's going to pick you up. You are also going to take an additional 16 points of psychic damage. So you're going to feel the impact of its hit. It's going to like hit you upside the head. The other arm kind of swoops around, picks you up. But in that process, you just feel a headache.
Okay.
That is his turn, Norbin. You are grappled, so your speed is 0, but you still have ability to move and do whatever you like.
Okay. Cool. Norbin will shout at the party that you should flee and avenge him in the future. And then he'll pull out a short sword and attempt to slice his own throat, aiming all of the arterial spray into the thing's eyes to blind it. And die.
You're killing yourself.
Yep.
What?
Wow. That is not. Wow. Let's
You
process
can work
this
out how that
first.
resolves as I go to sleep because I have to work in the morning. Have a good session, everyone.
Okay. I see that message now. Okay. We don't have to go to that degree.
That's...
I'll say yes, Ursas, you're free to go if you'd like to. But we won't kill off your character. We don't need to. Okay. All right. Take a pause here. Okay. We'll move on to the next order, Calgrim. Calgrim, you're aware that Norbin is grappled. You kind of look around and you blanked out for a second, but you definitely see that this creature is holding someone else. You can definitely tell, but you can't necessarily see who. But as you look around, Norbin seems to be the case. What would you like to do?
Hmm. I feel quite low. Hmm. I'll use action surge. Take an additional action. And probably make my way there. I just have to get back into it. Go for a swing.
$11 will miss.
Okay.
But yes, you're no longer prone. You use heavy movement to stand up. Move over there. Swing, and yeah, you just feel really weak. Don't swing strong enough.
Okay. Also, oh crap! I used second wind, didn't I? Yeah. I already used second wind, so I can't use it again. Damn it. I still have one more action.
Yeah, so action surge allows you to yeah, basically use an extra attack, but you do have your normal attack available.
I'll go for another attack.
11
Oh,
miss.
I accidentally clicked advantage, my bad.
That's fine. It still misses. It still misses. 11 will not. It will connect, but it doesn't do what you think it should. You just don't have the energy for it. Anything else? Movement, action.
I was gonna use
Bonus
second
action.
wind, but it was already used.
You only have you can use that once maybe.
Yeah.
Second wind. Um Well, second wind is different than maybe what you're thinking. So second wind is primarily on your turn you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1 plus or 1d10 plus your fighter level. 1d10 plus 5. But you can regain that health.
Oh, and because I tried to use it before and it said I couldn't.
Yeah, so once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest. You might have thought second wind was action surge. Action surge allows you to take an extra attack.
Yeah.
Or one additional action. Dillis.
Okay.
This creature has Ursat's grappled.
Gotcha. Ray of Frost seems to be working for the most part, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do attack.
17 connects.
Sweet. Hey, another one.
Whopping one.
Wow.
And that.
All the damage.
And then I'm gonna run to here.
All right. So let me stop this real quick, because I made an adjustment. This sheet. Yeah, let me do this. It's taken 98. Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let me do something real quick, because you were hitting it pretty hard in the beginning, so I made an adjustment. All right, we'll say this dude is looking pretty damaged. He's looking pretty hurt.
Aha!
Vels. I mean, at all times it was looking
It's-
pretty hurt. You
I mean,
you
it's a
always
flesh
had
monster.
below. Yeah, you had always had. Well, the last round or so, you had below half health, but yeah, it's definitely seemed to affect it. Vels.
All right, we're gonna try this chromatic orb thing again.
If at
Let's
first
see.
you don't succeed, try.
Try again. I guess not.
Go ahead and
Another
reroll
time.
that.
Reroll. All right. I have to do this. Oh, I need to. Right. Consistency. Let me see. Is this a bonus action? Where are you? And flexible, I think. It's transferring. Yes, bonus action. Ooh, that's 3. Yeah, I'm just using my bonus action to convert 3 of my sorcery points into a second level spell.
All right. So what you're gonna
And that's
notice
it.
here, what you're gonna notice here is Norbin is dropped, kind of put to the side.
Oh no.
But there's a few things you guys are gonna notice here. This creature is gonna turn towards all of you. I think, Vels in particular, you are gonna notice that Norbin, as he drops, he's just gonna kind of move, and shape is gonna shift. The Calgrim's form. Just kind of laugh.
Oh no.
Calgrim, you're gonna
Oh.
see this. Vels, you're gonna see this. Zillus, you're gonna see this. You guys are aware of shapeshifters? What they do? Everyone roll me a perception check. Actually, let me take that back. Vels and Zillus, make me a perception check. You're obviously you're focusing in on what's going on, but you're looking around as this occurs. And Zillus, you're gonna notice that there are three bodies on the ground behind you. So over here. And with that 19, you're gonna get a closer look, and those appear to be a furbolg, an orc, and an elf. lying on the ground dead. Only you see this.
Mm-hmm. And what happened to Norben again?
He's just gonna kind of drop, and his shape is gonna shift into Calgrim. It looks like there's two Calgrims from your standpoint. You see that, you turn around, like you look around, and you see three bodies on the ground next to the meteorite, the impact zone. They mimic the shapes. They seem like the shapes of creatures that you just saw roughly an hour ago.
Okay. Mm.
So the big creature is just kind of laugh and just hold his hands up, ready for whatever else is gonna come. Norben's not gonna act. That is Norben's action. Calgrim, you're gonna see Norben look kind of shift into you. What is your reaction to that?
I'm kind of like paralyzed in a way, just like kind of disbelief kind of thing, like that's not me kind of thing. Kind of like take a step back from it as well.
You disengaging?
Yeah, just backing away a bit. I'm just like,
Okay.
just taken aback, like surprised from it. That's all.
Okay. You take a step back. You're surprised of Norben shifting into what appears to be you. You see the big creature kind of laugh, kind of hold his arms up, ready for your attack. Doesn't take an action. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that would be my turn.
Zillus. Yeah, Zillus, you, again, you see the shift happen for Norben. He's dropped, and he shifts into what appears to be Calgrim. You see two Calgrims. You look behind you, just out of habit, just look around you. What else is going on? You see three bodies. They match the hunters that you saw about an hour ago. How do you react
Okay.
to that?
Well, I think first thing I'm gonna do is move towards Vels. And I'm also gonna cast another. Wait, am I still in range? Yes,
40 feet.
I'm still in range. Yeah, it has Ray of Frost has 60 feet. So we're gonna try this again because I don't have any other ranged spells that I can use. Dang it. 15?
15. You definitely see it strike, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on it. Overall
Okay.
miss.
And then I'll just use my my bonus action, uncanny action, and I'll move a bit closer to Vels. And I'll say, those hunters, they're in the crater. I don't know what the best action is.
Okay. Vel's hearing this. You're aware of shifters. You've experienced them in Hovestad. So that would ring a bell. And obviously, seeing Norben change shape, you've experienced that as well. You're aware of the shifters and what they can do. I think what the big picture is for you is the shifters seem to be attached to the meteors that are falling. It's just you, Calgrim, and Zillus. What would you like to do?
I feel like I think we should deal with this alien and then figure out what to do. Let's see. Good. We cast Ice Knife at 2nd level. So the first one.
24
Hey,
connects.
Finally.
24.
And then
24 will connect.
So back up. There's multiple damages. So 10 damage is from the actual knife. The knife explodes and does 10 damage. That second 10 only applies on a DC 15 dexterity.
Okay. So the shifter that was Norbin, now Calgrim. Dex save will fail. We'll take that 10 and drop. And when it does so, it is going to turn into a gray humanoid figure. And just drops. All the color and look of Calgrim just kind of fully drops. Just solid gray figure falls. And let me get you what that would look like as far as a token. This guy. So yeah, very gaunt, eyes just kind of like centered in its head.
I don't like that.
Very, very 1950s alien kind of vibe to it. But it will fall. It appears from your vantage point, it's just the three of you against this one creature. You know that you have it hurt, but it is very sturdy from all of the damage. Like, it's already taken, like, out of character, it's taken 100 plus points of damage. Still standing. You have here the opportunity to suggest to run or continue on trying to take it down. But you know something is afoot here. From Zillus, it sounds like the hunters were shapeshifters. Obviously, you just saw a shapeshifter here. From the vision, you would be aware that anything else that appeared from here has scattered out. It's just this one creature, and it's defending this place. So I guess it would be up to you in this circumstance. You continue to fight. You run with that knowledge, knowing that it is still standing.
Given I have one spell slot left, I think we should run, but we know that the shifters are part of this. That's very valuable.
Run and recuperate.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
We were also supposed to get like one of the rocks from here. So like, are there any loose rocks I can just quickly see?
You had loose rocks on the road as you traveled up.
On the road as we traveled in, okay. Those count.
On your
Good. Yeah,
But it didn't sound like anyone picked it up.
not yet.
Can I cast Mage Hand while we run and snag one?
It'd be up to you. We could take this out of initiative order real quick. Like, is the intention here to run? Take a rock if you can get it for Left Crofter, and then
Yeah.
head back. Like, run as far as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Calgrim, you're
Yes.
closest.
Or
Yes, I would probably want to make a run for it if I can. If I'm able.
You'd hear the instruction to run. Be cool if you did.
flee with extra flee.
Yep.
Okay. So it doesn't sound like there's any objections. You guys are fleeing from this.
Fleeing,
Yeah.
grabbing a rock if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Norbin is not what you thought. Based on the fact that he's the one that led you here. Based on the fact that no one, I think, has Peter's tool, or I'd say Calgrim, you've got efficiency and survival. Yeah, you'd be able to help the party get back.
Let's see. Gem flight.
But okay. We'll go ahead and flee here. It
If
is,
need be, while we're trying to navigate back, I can fly for a minute and then try to
Okay.
get a bird's eye view and
Go ahead and roll me just a straight
Bearings.
D100. Whoever wants to do it. Just claim it and then take it.
I'll
just
do
for
it.
any- Okay.
83. Okay. You do pick up one of the loose rocks as you run away.
Cool. We got that done.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
We'll say, again, you left 8, 12. You get to Copper Crossing. By the evening, you're able to make it back to Whitmor. What does that report look like as you're meeting with the captain or the assistant? What is the report that you're giving them based on what you've seen, you experienced?
We found the creature and it was exactly as Crofter described. We weren't able to kill it. It was really strong. We did find the party from the Records Guild, or on our way
The
there, or
hunters.
so we thought. Later we found their dead bodies while finding the main alien. And Norbin, while we were fighting the alien, he shifted into Calgrim. And when he died, he turned to this gray creature. I think the shifters are coming from these meteors.
Anything additional you would report in?
Who did we give the rocks to? Was that Crofter or someone else?
Well, that would be something that you deliver to Lovecraft.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
We also picked up one of the rocks for Crofter to investigate further. And I don't know.
That
We
would
did find
not
it.
necessarily be
anyone
something you would have to
feel
report
like-
in. It seemed to be an additional piece.
Additional thing. It's one of those things that's like
Additional
might be
thing.
worth knowing, just to say like, hey, we can research this further.
Do we want to mention the bear?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You knew it took out that bear.
Okay. You guys report in,
Mm-hmm.
and you get your rest. Fortunately, there is still one of these creatures out and about, but I think what's more important here, what you guys learned, is that the shifters have a source. Shifters aren't just
Yep.
random occurrences that are happening. Shifters came from these shooting stars. While the party out towards Easton and Jagged Grove, they attacked parts of it. They didn't attack and take out the full grouping. There was more. Could have led to what you experienced in Hovestad. And I think that's a good time to end. At least you have this rock for Lovecrafter.
We have the rock, and we have.
We
have
got a
source for the
rock.
shifters. the mystery grows deeper.
Yeah. Everyone, go ahead and on your character sheets add an additional 500 gold. So that's going to be a partial for the job that you just took over, but it's also going to be part of what Lovecrafter gives you for delivering the rock. Again, it appears to be outside of the initial job through the Adventurers Guild, kind of like a side fund.
Okay.
How much gold was it, sorry?
I don't know what I said.
I think it was
Does anyone remember what I
500.
said?
500?
Yeah, 500.
Yeah, that seems
500,
right.
okay.
500 gold for everybody. But okay, everyone in live chat, that's where we're gonna end for tonight. Thank you so much for joining, and yeah, we'll play D&D together again very soon. Later.